All right, welcome to the last video in this series on trigonometry. And in this video, we are going to talk about the law of cosines. It's kind of cool. I like it. And then you'll have done all the bonus stuff. So that's very cool. All right, so you may have noticed last time that the law of sines is not enough to figure out the missing triangles or the missing information for all triangles. In some of these situations where the law of sines isn't enough, we can use the law of cosines instead. The law of cosines, like the law of sines, is a formula we can use for all triangles, not just right triangles, which is, again, pretty cool. Okay, so what is the law of cosines? The law of cosines says that C equals A plus B minus 2AB cosine of C. Wait, there's one very, very important part I left out. It's not C, it's C squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2AB times the cosine of C. This may look somewhat familiar to you. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. And you would be right that this is a generalization of the Pythagorean theorem. So in the Pythagorean theorem, we use right triangles, which means cosine, which means C is 90 degrees. The cosine of 90 degrees is actually 0. So in a right triangle, the law of cosines is just C squared equals A squared plus B squared. It's just the Pythagorean theorem. But the law of cosines is useful because we can use it for non-right triangles. It always uses 3 sides and 1 angle, which means we either need 2 sides and an angle, 1 angle, or we need all 3 sides. So really important, again, it does not matter whether the triangle is labeled ABC or if it's labeled DEF, but the important thing is that this C squared has to be the side opposite angle C, which is the angle that goes here. So this side needs to be opposite the angle that you put into the formula. All right, let us look at an example. Okay, so how do we do this? We are going to write the law of cosines. In this case, we're going to use it to find a side. And that was a mistake. Keep jumping around. Okay, C equals A plus B minus 2AB cosine of C. And again, very important, we cannot forget this is C squared, A squared, and B squared. Now we're going to substitute in the given values. So C, we don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out in this problem. A, we do know. In this case, it's 12. Plus B, we know, is 20. Minus 2A, again, 12, times B, 20, times cosine of 40 degrees. So we substitute everything in. And again, do not forget these squares. If you do not forget the little 2 here, you're going to get everything wrong. This is now something you can just put into a calculator. 12 squared is 144. Plus 20 squared is 400. Minus 2 times 12 times 20, 24, 48, 480 times the cosine of 40. Really, really important. Do not forget the order of operations here. You cannot, as much as you might want to, put all these numbers together. You can put 144 and 400 together, but you need to do 480 times the cosine of 40 before you can do anything else. So we'll do that real quick. 480 times the cosine of 40 degrees equals 367. 367.7. 144 plus 400 is 544 minus 367.7. 544 minus 367.7 gives us that C squared equals 176.3. Now this is not the answer. Remember, this is c squared. So we need to do the square root of c squared equals the square root of 176.3. Put that into your calculator. Square root 176.3. And it equals 13.28 about. So C equals 13.28. 13.28. And if you wanted to check, you could put everything back in to the formula to see if it equals out as you would hope it does. But once you have done that, you are in good shape to have the answer. C equals 13.28. There you go. All right, now let's look at a different example to find a missing angle. Okay. What is happening? I don't know what's happening, people. I'm losing law of cosines. Write the law of cosines. Oh, here's the example. Sorry, my bad. So in this case, we're going to use it to find a missing angle. Substitute values, write the law of cosines, as we have done. So I've been recording a lot of videos today. I'm kind of losing my mind a little bit. Law of cosines is c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine of c. Of course, I just typed it out that way, but I need to remember to not forget the squares. We will now substitute in values from the problem. This time we have c, a, b. We're going to be trying to figure out what this c is. So c squared will be 20 equals a squared 30 plus 40 minus 2. A is 30, b is 40. Cosine of c, we don't know what that is. That's what we're trying to figure out. Again, it doesn't matter if the triangle is actually labeled A, B, C. You can give it the A, B, and C that you want, as long as little c is always opposite big C. So 20 squared plus 30 squared plus 40 squared. Now this is going to be a bit more algebra intense, and we're going to need to use some of our skills to solve it. 30 squared is 900 plus 40 squared is 1600 minus 2 times 30 times 40. Can anyone do this in their head? This is 2400. Cosine of c, we don't know what that is. All right, so this is an equation we have to solve. 900, 1600 we can put together to get 2500. We cannot, however, put it together with the minus 2400, even though we may really want to, because the 2400 is being multiplied by cosine of c. Right now, this is like a variable. It's like an x or a y that we don't know. It's a c that we don't know. So we can't just combine these. Instead, we're going to have to separate this, get rid of the minus 2500 on both sides. Now we have negative 2100 equals, this is gone, negative 2400 cosine of c. Now we want to get the cosine of c all by itself. So we're going to divide by negative 2400. Divide by negative 2400 on both sides. I'm going to bring this up over here. So negative 2100 divided by negative 2400 is equal to 0.875. And that tells us that 0.875 equals the cosine of c. Now we just need to use that inverse function again, like when we were trying to find missing angles. So inverse cosine Remember, that's second on the calculator plus cosine, and then 0.875. And if you do that, you should get that it's about 28.95 degrees. So C equals 28. We'll just say 0.96 degrees. And that tells us this angle, 28.96. Now, if you want to, you could go through this process again to find the missing angle B or the missing angle A. Once you've found one of them, you could, of course, can just add them all up to figure out the last one. I hope that's helpful. I'm sorry this video was not probably my best video. But if you have any questions, I'm happy to help you in school, before school, after school, over email, whatever works. Have a great day.